We keep it real.
We keep it raw.
We keep it uncut.
All day.
We are
Marriage Takeover.
p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we are Marriage Takeover. Check in. Let us know where you're coming from.
TikTok said PA. Hey from PA.
Hey, PA. It's check-in time. Virginia in the house. We checking Facebook as well. Delaware. We got Delaware in the house. Come on, check in. It's Marriage Takeover. Kitchen Conversation.
St. Louis
in the house. Hey,
North Carolina.
Raleigh, North Carolina, checking in. Charlotte, checking in. Let's go, North Carolina. We're checking in. It's Kitchen Conversations. It's your girl, Tamika. Let us know where you're checking in from. Let us know your city. Let us know your state. What you repping. Let us know your country. Come on, where you coming in from? Yay!
Newark, Ohio.
Newark, Ohio, in the house. Let's go.
Texas
in the house. It's Thursday night kitchen conversation. Let's go.
Montana
in the house. Let's go.
Brooklyn, New York.
Brooklyn. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for rapping your city.
Georgia
in the house.
Houston, Texas.
Houston. Hey. Let's go. Take over. Let us know where you're repping from. We got one more minute. Check in. Hey, let us know where you're checking in from. Your city, your state. Let's rep your city. Take over. Hey! your girl Tamika, checking in. We just want to welcome you to Kitchen Conversations. It's your girl Tamika. Your boy E-Rock is not here. Not on today. We're not together today. But we are, we keep it real. We keep it raw. We keep it uncut. We are Marriage Takeover. Listen, we help couples win in their marriage by identifying their triggers and breaking generational cycles. So, tonight's kitchen conversation is going to be just a little bit different because my better half, my ace boon coon, my I can't even say that he my rib because I'm his rib, but you know, all the good stuff. He is actually taking a homeboy vacation, so he is out hanging with the fellas this week, and he's not here with Kitchen Conversations. So it's your girl Tamika, and y'all know how that's gonna turn out with the cooking. Y'all know I am not the chef of the house. So I'm going to need you all to help me to be sous chefs, if you will. So tonight's menu was broadcasted last week. Thank you guys so much for making sure that we got the menu set up for today. So we got lamb chops. They're already in the oven. We can have mashed potatoes. You can see that they're boiling right now. And then we're going to have asparagus. I haven't got started with asparagus yet. And somebody mentioned homemade rolls. So I got a message. Somebody inboxed me. Phenomenal woman. A woman of God. And so she inboxed me and said, I got a real easy recipe. And I was like, I need easy. And so she said, I got a real easy recipe for you. So shout out to Pastor Maggie, and she also has a singles ministry as well. A lot of people are always asking me about singles, and if we work with singles, and so she's got a phenomenal singles ministry as well from the Heart Ministries, and so we want to make sure that you reach out to her as well. So we're gonna give this all a try on today, and see how it comes up with. So we're gonna go ahead and turn the lights on, turn the party lights out, and see what it's gonna do for us, y'all. See what it's gonna do for us. I don't know how it's gonna work out. And tonight we're talking about communication. I don't know how we're gonna work this out because hubby actually is on TikTok. So if you are watching on a couple of different devices, he is on TikTok. I'm on Facebook and I'm on YouTube. And I don't know how this is gonna work out today, y'all. We were trying to get our TikToks up to 1,000. So I have a personal TikTok account and I do not have 1,000 followers. So we didn't make it work. And then the TMT moderator, the Marriage Takeover moderator didn't have 1,000 followers. So we couldn't do that connect to make sure that it was one. So y'all got me on today. So we're going to be talking about communication on tonight. We're going to be cooking and I'm going to need your help, right? So let's see. Did Facebook check in?
Yeah. They were Georgia.
Georgia? Sweet. All right. So Georgia, all of TikTok, I need y'all help. YouTube, I need y'all help. So we're going to first sift these rolls so we can try to get the rolls in. So y'all know how you sift, right? What is this on this thing?
I said
cool. All right, so let's talk about, we're going to sift this flour. I don't know if does it need to be sifted? Is Maggie watching? Pastor Maggie, I don't know if you're watching or not. But I need to see if this is sifting so y'all know how your girls gonna do this thing. So if this is your first time tuning in or you normally don't catch us while we're live, this is Kitchen Conversations Live. We are here every Thursday, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we are just cooking dinner, having us a good time, and having conversation, right? So check in. Let's see here. We already passed the check-ins. Mm-hmm. So we're talking about communication. Why is it so hard? For us to communicate with our spouse? I need your interaction on today. Y'all, I need sous chefs and I need interaction on today. Y'all got to help a sister out. So all week since Eric left for his trip, my son has been cooking. But I said, I can't have you cook on Kitchen Conversations because that's how we normally do Kitchen Conversations. But we are here. All right, so we sift through that just so that we can get the different impurities out of the flour. And when we talk about the impurities, that's the impurities. Think about that thing. So when you say that you're sifting through so that you can make sure that you're getting only the best of the best, right? And making sure that you are getting all the impurities outside of this flour so that when we start cooking and we start making and doing stuff, that we are getting the best of the best and we're weeding out all of the impurities. So when you think about weeding out all of the impurities and you think about all of that for just your conversations, when you're having conversations with your spouse, what different impurities, what different things do you need to start weeding out in order for you to make sure that it is meaningful? Now, I hope I put this stuff in here right. It's a whole lot of flour and don't look like it's a whole lot of liquid. So I was told flour and
someone said ego.
Ego. Ooh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Ego. You got that ego, you got that pride. And then when you have that, and think about when you have that ego, because when you have the ego, nobody wins with the ego because you think that you winning with your ego when you really not winning with your ego because now you don't even know how to communicate properly. Yeah, I don't think I did these rolls right. It's not enough liquid in them. So you think that you're communicating properly and you think you're winning because you think that, you have the best part of the upper hand because now you are communicating in a way to where you think that you've won. But when you have that ego and you allow the ego to rise up and that ego to stand, front and center, nobody really wins with the ego because now you think you won, but in reality, you really have lost because now your spouse has turned a deaf ear to what it is you're trying to say. And now nobody's listening. And I know that Eric and I, when we were first married, I tell y'all, our communication, I keep telling y'all, it was a lot going on with our communication. All we knew was fuss. All we knew was fight. All we knew was, if you don't hear me, I want to be heard. So when you do that, you raise your voice on top of each other and nobody's listening. So let's talk about, when we talk about communication, I think it's important for us to talk about active listening. And when you have the ego that rises up, when we have the flesh that rises up, when we have our own selfishness and our own desires and our own wills that want to rise up, oftentimes we don't even get to the point to where we can actively listen to what each other is saying. So then how do you communicate with your spouse when you got your ego stepping in front and center? When you have, somebody mentioned, during our challenge, somebody mentioned even the narcissist. How do you communicate when you got the narcissist? How do you communicate when, I don't think I'm doing this right, y'all. It was 2 cups of flour and 2 ounces of heavy whipping cream. And it just does not look like it's enough stuff in here, y'all. Look, we might have to pass on the biscuits, on the rolls. I don't know. Am I doing this right? Is Pastor Maggie online?
She is.
Am I doing this right? Because it don't look like it's supposed to be looking like it.
Someone said, what about eggs?
What about eggs?
Do I need eggs? I don't know if eggs is in the thing. Was eggs in the thing? Pastor Maggie, do I need eggs in here? Because y'all know your girl is not wrapped too tight with it. When it comes to cooking. All right, so when it comes to that, think about asking, I don't even know where I left off. So it's about the active listening, right? So when you have the active listening, think about the active listening in a perspective to where instead of you maybe accusing, right? There are often times where we will, and I know I'm so guilty of this. Like I'll ask a question and already have the answer formulated. Like I'll ask Eric a question sometimes and I already got the answer to the question, although it may not be his answer. And then I go back and forth about, you sure that's what it was? And he's giving me his answer. He's giving me his perspective. He's giving me his thing. And I'm steady asking questions because I've already made up in my mind what the answer should be. So let's talk about that from a perspective of when you are having a conversation and you already made up in your mind what the answer is already going to be. Think about that. Now, is that fair to your spouse? That's not fair to your spouse, because when you do that, then you have that preconceived notion about what their perspectives are, about what it is they should be doing and how they should be doing it. And that's not even the case. Like, for example, when you ask them how they feel and they like, okay, well, I feel good. Although the body language is, giving you off a whole different thing. The body language is, I don't want to be bothered. Body language is, don't mess with me. The body language is, I just want to be left alone right now. So then when you ask them, well, hey, what's wrong? What's going on? How you feeling? Nothing, I'm good. No, they lying. But if they say that they're good, then maybe that's the opportunity, because they don't want to have a conversation right now. Maybe they don't want to.
Miss Maggie said no eggs in the recipe for rolls.
No eggs. So it's just flour and heavy whipping cream? Because this looking a little dry, Pastor Maggie. Am I supposed to do something? Am I not doing it? I'm probably not doing it right, y'all.
Someone else said no eggs.
No eggs. All right. I don't know what else. What about butter? Butter make everything better. What about butter?
She said a pinch of salt.
A pinch of salt. We could do that. All right. Pinch of salt. I told you I was going to need my sous chefs on today. All right. So a pinch of salt. All right.
So where's the recipe?
So I got the recipe via instant messenger, and I'm using my phone, so I can't get to it right now. But I swore, I thought that I pulled it off and I had everything set up before I got started, but it's just not looking like this is supposed to be like this. It looks real dry, and I know that the biscuit's not supposed to look like this. What about water? Am I supposed to add water to it? Y'all, shout out to Pastor Maggie, because I told her, I said, listen, it's got to be real easy. And it's real easy with them 3 ingredients. And your girl still couldn't get it right. So y'all pray for your sister, okay? I don't know what else to do.
2 cups of self-rising flour, 2 ounces of heavy whipping cream, a pinch of salt, 2 ounces, 2 ounces of heavy whipping cream, a pinch of salt, and bake for 15 to 20 minutes.
But it ain't supposed to be this dry, is it? I don't know, y'all. I'm gonna roll it and I'm gonna put it in there. It's not even sticking together. Am I supposed to do something different with it? I don't know, y'all. But we gonna try it out and see. Yeah. Oh, am I supposed to put my hands in there? Maybe that's what I'm supposed to do, y'all. So here's the deal. When I do that, it starts to stick together just a little bit. Okay. Maybe that's what I'm supposed to do. I don't know, y'all. I think I'm going to add a little bit more maybe whipping cream. But I think that's maybe what I'm supposed to do. All right. I think I might have it together. All right. Let's see here. All right, we're going to try. We're going to try and see what it does. All right. And then what about the pan? Should I put flour at the bottom of the pan or just oil? Y'all know I am not the cook. And I am quick to give y'all some Jiffy. Even the Jiffy cornbread last week, y'all. It sunk in the middle. All right, so get me some frozen rolls and stick them in the thing, and then we'd be good. But I don't think that's what we're supposed to be doing. I'm going to try it out, Pastor Maggie. She said it's so easy. And y'all don't talk about me. My chef is not here. And I miss my chef. But he needed to get away. So I appreciate the fact that he got away. And I've been telling him for years that he needs to take a guy trip. And he finally did it. So I am happy that he got away.
Miss Maggie says spray some oil in the pan.
Spray some oil. Like some Pam? All right. So is this, it's not even sticking though. So is this good, Pastor Maggie? You know, my great grandmother used to make little biscuits like this. Oh my God, they were so amazing. They were so amazing. You leave them out for too long though, and then they come like bricks and you could throw them at each other as like weapons. But they were so good when you first pulled them out of the oven. So is that good or should I make it a little bit bigger? It's just me and the kids. Is that good? Can they see it? Is that good? Or should I make it a little bit bigger? I got a feeling they're going to say a little bit bigger. All right, so don't y'all talk about me, all right? We are excited, and I don't know how this is going to be, but with the communication. Oh, I didn't spray it. Let me spray it. So when it comes to communicating and communication, and then we get, all right, and then we get set aside with our own ambitions and our own responses. Sometimes it's hard for us, even with our ego, when we have our ego set up, for us to really, really and truly hear our spouse. So when they have that, they shut themselves off. And after being shut off for so many years, it's really hard to be able to resurrect them starting to listen, them having that active listening process. So then the question is, okay, well, how can I get them listening again? Because I really want us to start talking more. I really want us to get to a better place. So when you have to do that, you have to first go in and apologize. Listen, I know I wasn't wrapped too tight. I didn't get all of this together. And this goes for the husband and the wife. So when you're thinking about communicating and you're trying to start a clean slate, always go in to apologize first. And then you ask them for help. Like there, I know when with the tone. I keep saying, y'all, tone. Tone was a big thing for me. And I didn't realize that the tone was what it was. Even like when I get upset or when I get aggravated or tired, or if I'm trying to, like sometimes I will be doing too many things at one time. And then everybody is pulling on me. Everybody is pressing on me to be able to do something. And so when that happens, I get frustrated. And when that frustration comes, there are times where the tone is a little different. And then you don't even know that your tone is different or that your tone is changing. And so what I had to do with Eric was I said, hey, listen, I want us to be able to start off with this clean slate of communicating, but I need your help. Can you help me to where we are able to communicate a little bit better? So when you notice that my tone is what is coming off as, then let me know that my tone is shifted. Let me know that my tone is changed because I don't want you to shut down. And when he would start doing that, I started to notice, oh, wow, I didn't even notice that the tone had been elevated. I didn't notice that the tone was short. I didn't notice any of that stuff. So then I started to say, okay, well, what can I do differently? And instead of sometimes just going into fuss or going into argue and going into fight, you should ask the question, hey, why do you do that the way that you do? What is this going on? And then when they respond and when they answer, take it as their answer. Take it as their response. Don't try to make something different out of what they said. Take it as their response. Y'all, I hope I'm making these rolls right. Mm-hmm. I don't know how that's going to taste. I don't know what that's going to look like. But we're going to try it out and see. All right. I am trusting that I did this properly. So what do you say? What do you say about the communication? What do you say about the tone? I love that ego because that gets most of us tripped up. I love that. Pastor Maggie, see that one crumbled. Pastor Maggie, how long am I supposed to leave the rolls in the oven? And what temperature? I got it set for 350.
She might not respond now after she says she in Bible study.
Oh man, she in Bible study. Y'all, how long should I let these biscuits stay on here? That is gonna be hilarious. So I definitely have to let you guys know how the biscuits turned out, because we might not have enough time to see how those turned out. But the mashed potatoes should be pretty good. I'm good with the sides, y'all. I can do sides all day.
Rolls are sides.
Rolls are sides. Rolls is like a whole different beast though when you're doing it from scratch. Like you got to be like a baker to do rolls. I stick to the frozen roll. All right, so I'm gonna do this last one. Put it in the center, and see what that's gonna look like, y'all. I don't even know how long I'm supposed to keep them in there. What, at least 20 minutes, maybe, or until it gets brown, right? Because these shouldn't have problems with baking that much on the inside. All right. So what do you say about the communication? All right. I am missing my husband. It's not as fun. The kitchen conversations is not as fun.
It's real bland.
I know. It's so bland. Y'all, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's not as fun without him. Let's see here. So what I might have to do is doing like a post with him. Once dinner is done, because I don't know what this gonna do, y'all. But here's the biscuits molded. So, all right. So we're gonna do that. See how the end gonna be on that. We got about 8 more minutes. I'm gonna check on the lamb chops. Lamb chops came out look pretty decent. I wanted to be able to at least have some things started, so we could have a little bit of conversation. All right. So that's not quite ready yet. We're gonna let that sit for a little bit longer. All right. So yeah. So when you think about the communication, you think about all of those different things. Then what do you say? What do you do when you're trying to start the process over? There are so many. We got a lot of flour left. I don't know. I guess I get rid of the flour.
You could have made some more rolls.
We got to see if the first set gonna come out right first. I don't know if the first set gonna come out right. So let me put this egg back up since we don't need the egg. I'm about to mess it up, Jesus. So then we got this asparagus, right? And so for the asparagus, I don't think I've ever done asparagus. I like to eat asparagus, but Eric normally cooks the asparagus. So I know that you have to cut off the ends to the asparagus. Or the bottom part. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to rinse this out so that I can get the asparagus rinsed off really good. And so when you think about just the conversation and the communication, where do we start to build a bridge? That's the true question. Where do we start to rebuild that bridge? Where do we start to say, hey, listen, let's start it over. Let's start it afresh. Because you want to, communication is one of the top reasons why people go to divorce. And it's something that we all could fix, right? It's one of the top reasons why people have problems in their marriage is because it's the communication. Because we don't know how to talk to each other and still get our point across. We don't know how to communicate with each other and make sure, like sometimes it's communicating because you want your spouse to understand what it is you're saying, what you're doing, and why you're doing it. Sometimes your spouse don't care about that. So why don't you just make sure that you're asking the question, hey, listen, how can we start this conversation with communication? How can we just wipe the slate clean and start afresh? Right? So when we're talking and when you start getting heated in that moment, and y'all know how y'all get. You like your blood pressure start rising, you start seeing red, and then all of a sudden everybody just arguing and fussing and fighting, and then you look back and there's somebody walking off and somebody going the opposite direction, and you trying to figure out how the heck y'all started arguing over something simple. Like it's arguing sometimes over dumb stuff. It's arguing sometimes over stuff that really doesn't really matter. And then when you come back together and you're able to sit down, you're like, why were we arguing about this again? Because you really wanted your voice to be heard. Sometimes it's really about you wanting to be heard because you're tired of being overlooked. You wanting to be heard because you feel like it's a sign of disrespect if you're not being heard. And so when you start talking over each other and everybody wants to be heard. So if you say everybody wants to be heard, okay, how can you stop yourself in that moment so that you can be heard and your spouse can be heard? How can both win? I'm going to just grab the water real quick, y'all. How can both win? Because you both can win. When it comes to the communication, both of y'all can win. So we use reverse osmosis water because we don't use the regular city water. And let's see here.
Oh, can you reach it?
Huh?
Can you reach it?
Uh-huh. All right. And then what I'm going to do too is add a little bit of vinegar because vinegar cleanses. Like when we use water and vinegar to clean our meats, water and vinegar to clean our vegetables, fruits, because it kind of pulls all the impurities out and it cleanses everything so that we can consume it while it's clean, right? As much as possible. Because we don't know what different chemicals are used. Although this is organic, we don't know what the process was to get it to our house and on our kitchen table. So we always like to make sure that we're cleaning everything as good as possible. We do try to use all organic stuff as much as possible. So yeah, just so you know that. Now, when it comes to cooking this asparagus, because it's like if you leave it on too long, then you overcook it, right? And then the top part withers. So how long are we supposed to keep this asparagus on? I need to know, y'all, because otherwise, we gonna have us some messed up rolls and some messed up asparagus. Everything else will be good. Everything else will be good. Put a little olive oil inside of the pot. Let that heat up just a little bit. So talk to me, y'all. Are we having a conversation? It seems like I'm just talking. Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. I need your help on this evening. I need your help on this evening. So then here's what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to top it off. Any other questions? Any other responses around communication? Who here with us on this evening? Who checked in?
I saw Miss Tracy.
Miss Tracy.
Miss Maggie.
Miss Maggie.
And then someone came over from TikTok.
What? Who was that came over from TikTok?
Annette Jackson.
Hey, Annette. Annette, you let me know what's good. So, I am going to
and Miss Shamari Jones.
Shamari! Hey, boo! Y'all, her and her husband are doing a movement. Deliver Us from Religion, and I'm so excited about it. Oh, I wish Eric was here. It's kind of bland without Eric. But, let's see here. So what I think I'm going to do is when I'm going to put some garlic inside.
She said, hello.
Hello. I'm gonna put the garlic inside of the mashed potatoes, so I'm gonna go ahead and peel the garlic. We use fresh garlic, and let's see here. For y'all tuning in for the first time, I'm so sorry. Yes.
She said she just tuned in. What was the question?
Oh, so the question is, so how can we make sure that we are that we wipe the slate clean when it comes to communication, right? Communication, there are Ooh, that ain't what I wanted to do. Ooh. So communication is one of the top reasons why people go through divorce, right? Because they can't communicate with one another. And someone earlier mentioned that one of the reasons why we can't do that is because of the ego, right? So the ego comes in, the ego does all these different things, and it makes us feel like we're in control, we're in charge, and that we on top. And oftentimes when we allow the ego to come in, we lose, right? So when we're talking about the ego, when we're talking about communication, one of the things that I mentioned earlier was just wiping the slate clean. So when we go to wipe the slate clean around our communication, what does that look like? Because oftentimes if you are in a situation where you've been married, you've been in a relationship a long time, and it's a lot of fussing going on, then oftentimes just one of the spouse, either the husband or the wife, somebody has already shut themselves off to communicating. And so the question is how do you get that how do you wipe the slate clean and start over when it comes to communicating? How do you make sure that you are checking in, that you are really starting over? And so one of the things that I mentioned was apologizing, right? Apologizing and admit where you need help. Like for me, it was my tone. My tone could carry anybody for days. And it was the tone, so I had to ask Eric to make sure that he was helping me when it came to the tone. And I miss my baby, y'all. He is on a guy's trip. He's been planning this trip for a while. I've been telling him for years he needs to take a guy's trip. And so this is his second guy's trip for the year. So I think he's making up for lost times. And so now I'm just trying to do a conversation because he's normally the chef, right? He cooks better than me. And so I'm trying to get things together and under wraps. I got some biscuits in the oven. I don't know how they're going to turn out because they're homemade. But Pastor Maggie gave me the recipe from scratch. And Pastor Maggie gave me the recipe, and I hope I do it justice just for her. But I don't know how it's going to turn out, y'all. And so the question is how do you start over with the communication? How do you wipe the slate clean so that you can start communicating better inside of your marriage? And I'm going to just grind up the garlic as we get the interaction going. And I'm going to take this off. We had the asparagus cooking inside of, being cleansed.
She said, give them the benefit of the doubt. Assume that they're giving their best.
Ooh, I like that. I love that. Give them the benefit of the doubt. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. Did anybody let me know how long I'm supposed to have this asparagus cooking? I know if you do it too long, that's a bad thing. I just don't know what too long it's supposed to be. All right, y'all. So we're gonna let that cook for a little bit. Let's give it what? 5 minutes? 5 minutes for asparagus? I don't know. But I'm afraid to do anything different because if I do it too long, it's gonna be all withery at the top. And I don't want it to be all withery. All right, and then the last thing I'm gonna put together is these mashed potatoes. And then what I think I'm gonna do is just post a picture because I should have had it out already. But I just gonna post a picture because what I don't want to do is just keep everybody and I don't have everything together. But I will post what my biscuits look like. And I'll have to tell everybody how everything tastes. All right, so I'm going to take that off, turn that off. I'm gonna whip up these mashed potatoes from scratch and put inside of them some garlic, fresh garlic, and then some butter. And what time is it? 7:40. And then the lamb chops should be ready to rock and roll. Let's see. That might be ready now, you guys. Woo! That's been cooking now for a little bit. So that should be ready. And I think that's it. So listen. Eric is gone this week. I don't know what Kitchen Conversation is going to look like for next week as well. But what I will do is I will post, before I go, let me ask this question. What's on the menu for next week? Y'all got to keep it simple, easy. Like simple, easy. What's on the list for next week? Nobody said anything? Oh man, we lost them.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Homemade pizza.
There y'all go with the homemade.
Spaghetti, salad, and garlic toast.
I could do that.
Yeah.
I could do that.
Too simple.
I could do that. I need simple.
Mom.
What?
I can help you cook the homemade pizza. Yeah, I mean.
Ooh, someone said taco night.
Taco night?
Ooh. Tacos will be super simple. Right?
I mean, you're doing college night food.
Because I need college night application. My son is over here having a cow, y'all. All right, put a little salt on that. We're going to drop some butter in here. And I think I need to grab my asparagus before I burn it. And, so I think tacos. I can do tacos. I can do soft shells and hard shells. And all I have to do is the meat and then cut up the sides. And I think we'll be good for that. So, we'll have tacos next week. And then what do y'all want to talk about next week? Because I don't really know. What we gonna talk about that's gonna get some engagement. I want you all to be able to communicate with me and me just not be feeling like I'm lecturing. I don't like to do all this talking. Huh? Oh, something smell like it's burning. It's probably asparagus. Y'all, I told y'all.
You want me to cook the asparagus?
Listen.
You want me to come cook it?
You gonna come cook it? You don't mind being on camera? I think it might be done. Oh yeah, that's turning a little color. All right, let's move that off the eye. Right? I think that's good. You want to go ahead and play it? Because we about ready to play it. Actually, so see, y'all hung in there with me for a little bit. I'm excited about it. Thank you guys so much for hanging in there with me. I am not the one to cook. I am not the one to be cooking, but I appreciate you guys hanging in there with me. I might not be able to play like Eric, but we gonna get this done.
Someone said, I want to hear about the best de-escalation tips.
The who? De-escalation tips. Yes. Okay, I got you.
Where we are going wrong with conflict resolution.
Got it.
To find out where we're going wrong with conflict
resolution. Got you. All right. So, de-escalation tips. Let me just taste this because this look a little.
Don't you need milk in there or something?
Hmm?
Did you already put the milk in there?
I don't need milk. I don't normally do milk in my home. Lord have mercy. My son is already critiquing my biscuits, y'all. It look like they're not ready yet. They still light on the top.
They looked like they was drying out. That's what I took them out.
Well, I don't know if they're supposed to be drying out or not.
I'm not critiquing you, Ma. I was just didn't want you to burn.
Your face said it all.
I just didn't want you to burn, man.
Your face said it all. So put the timer in on like 2 minutes.
Dad asked what we cooking.
We are cooking. Honey, can we bring him in on the live Facebook?
I gotta send him the link. We can do that though.
Yeah, I need to make sure we can bring him in because it's not as much fun without him. And I can't cook that well, so I feel so bad for everybody watching.
Bad, Ma. You cooking fine, man.
I feel so bad for everybody watching though.
I'm trying to figure out how to.
Let's see here. So we are finishing up on our mashed potatoes. We are garlic mashed potatoes. Oh, you know what I'm missing?
You're doing good.
Next week we're gonna do tacos and we're gonna talk about the de-escalation tips. Because I think that's important. And let me get this. Why did it look so watery? I don't know why it looks so watery. That ain't good.
Can I add some whipping cream too if you want? They don't look bad.
All right, and then all right, you guys. So I think I did all right. It's a little brown on here, but she did all right. I do not want to make this a habit. You got the pot holder.
Yes.
There's one right behind you. And you can put that in the sink. And then
So Chef E-Rocknim is not in the kitchen.
Chef E-Rocknim is not in the kitchen, boo. But that don't look too bad, right? Listen, she did all right. She did all right. Look at her. So they asked for lamb chops, asparagus, and mashed potatoes last week. And ladies and gentlemen, I think I did all right. Now the biscuits are still in the oven. So I'm going to have to show a picture of the biscuits because I don't know how those are going to turn out. And then I'll have to let you know how it tasted as well because, you know, it can look good and not taste good. But I think this is all right. So listen, I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in and hanging in there with me. It is so very different without my husband here. And this is the first time I've ever had to do kitchen conversations without him. And I miss him a lot. He means a world of, he means a whole lot to me. And kitchen conversations is not the same without him. So it's your girl, Tamika. Listen, we keep it real, we keep it raw, we keep it uncut. And we are Marriage Takeover. We had on the plate for tonight the menu, lamb chops, we had mashed potatoes, we had asparagus, and we had fresh rolls. So the rolls are not quite finished yet. They are not quite finished yet. So next week, we are going to have tacos. And we are talking about de-escalation tips for how you can do conflict resolution. So thank you guys so much for staying in here with me. And I appreciate you guys so much. We will see you next week for Kitchen Conversations. It's your girl, Tamika, signing out.